Hi everyone, welcome for this July recap. There's so many things that I love, and I've forbidden myself to do all those my favorite things for half of my life. Half of my life? I mean, that's assuming I'm living up to 90 plus. Hi everyone, I'm Elloa, I'm a content creator on Twitch and YouTube if you have never seen me before, which would be surprising. In any case, if it's the first time you're joining, welcome my friend. May you enjoy yourself. Those little recap that I'm doing monthly is for those of you that do not have the occasion of watching me on Twitch. So I'm making those little summary where I'm explaining everything you need to know, everything you have missed out. There is no FOMO with Elloa. I'm illustrating all of that with some clips and some discussion about what happened in real life as well. All of this is separated by chapters, so if you're not interested by, let's say, astrology, for example, you can skip over or go directly to the part that you favorize. Or you can watch the whole video, which will be nice, and then don't forget to give a like and comment something, you know the drill. Anyway, let's start with World of Warcraft. So, by the way, Marcus, just saying, but you have done one interrupt. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's really nice.
Yeah, I feel very patronized.
This is the end of season 1. And this whole season, this whole expansion, I did not manage to truly get into the game in the same way that I've been doing before. I've written a very long text on Discord that is accessible to the Twitch subscriber, but in short, what I'm explaining is that because I have been absorbed so much by video gaming and content creation, and that I am redirecting my life towards more real life stuff, I'm a little afraid to invest myself too much in World of Warcraft and fall back into my bad habit. Therefore, I am super cautious about how much time I spend into the game, not really allowing me to fully enjoy it and immerse myself as I used to be. I think this is a kind of self-protection, self-mechanism that some people can have when they're trying to get away from an old addiction somewhat. I do believe that I can have a healthy relationship with World of Warcraft video gaming and the digital world in general, but to progress cautiously might be a natural effect of the change taking place within me. I feel like I didn't have the occasion of enjoying Midnight as much as I would have in other conditions, and this regardless of the quality of the expansion itself. This has nothing to do with the game. This is very much about me alone. Nonetheless, I've been enjoying myself with friends and with Starship members doing some mythic keys. Here, the goal was not specifically to reach a specific rating or anything like that, because I had done that and completed what I wanted, but just to enjoy each other's company. And it has been really, really fun. So now that I am really resetting my priorities with World of Warcraft and with the stream and reducing my time as well, it's very important that I'm focusing on what's most important for me. And for me, the group content, the friendship, the fact that we can play together is the most important aspect to it.
I don't think we're gonna have it for the...
Yeah, no, good point. Oh, you still want to use it regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we might actually...
Come on.
Yes, we did it!
Holy shit.
See,
Yay.
that's what touch of death is good for.
Nice.
Us spamming that is crazy.
Was that a second? I think that was the second. Second left.
I'm glad that my poor little DPS served something and made a difference.
Great work, everyone.
Yeah, that was good, guys.
Yeah, we had time to spare, it's fine.
all you gotta do is time it.
Yeah. That being said, doing the quests and the stories, as always, is very important to me. And I finally finished the Loremaster achievement for Midnight. And now, my friend, I will watch There we go! Loremaster of Midnight! There we go. I must confess that despite the fact that the Voidstorm quests were really nice, some were really moving, I was quite happy when I finished that zone. I mean, the zone is beautiful, it's ethereal, it's even like vibrant when it comes to color, so you cannot say it's depressing and sad and grey. But there's still a kind of aspect of loneliness, of estrangement, I don't know. I much prefer Harandar, Zulaman or Eversong Wood. So I was really happy to be able to finish the Loremaster achievement with the very last quest in Harandar. Harandar is such a beautiful zone, the music is so gorgeous, and the aesthetic, the thematic of the places is really fitting me well. So among the four zones, I must say that Zulaman is probably my favorite zone when it comes to lore and stories, but Harandar is probably my favorite one when it comes to aesthetics. You're doing amazing, keep it up! Do not go back. You know what I'm saying to myself? This is what I'm saying to myself. Do not go back to sleep. And I promise you guys, this is what I repeat to myself most of the time. Every time I'm tempted to do something else, like to not do the things I need to do, I repeat myself, do not go back to sleep. It comes from Rick Levine, my astrology teacher.
Is why for months I've been saying what we talked about last month, roomies do not go back to sleep. We can't afford to snooze through this magical threshold of a moment.
But it comes from a poem from Rumi. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Do not go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Do not go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill, where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Do not go back to sleep. And so season 1 is coming to an end, and it has been a good season despite the fact that I've been less invested than I've been in the War Within. I really enjoyed the raids, I enjoyed the bosses of the raids, and I enjoyed the Mythic Plus dungeon selection. I think the selection of dungeon were really nice. I didn't have any strong feeling in favor or in disfavor to any dungeon, so I do not know if it's a good or a bad sign, but overall I have never been sad about doing one or the other, which was much more contrasted in past seasons, I must say. Alright, let's see the recap served by Raider.io. Thank you very much, Raider.io, for providing those very fun recap. So let's have a look. I've spent 1 day, 14 hours, 34 minutes running keys. I don't know if it's a good news or a bad one, because it seems to be a lot of time. My peak score is at 3074, which is pretty cool. I wanted to reach 3000 at last. I would have wanted to go further and beyond, but I didn't have the time nor the energy to spend to that. So I'm pretty happy about my season and the score I've been reaching. I've been timing 49 out of 78 keys this season. This is not that great, so I hope that season 2 I will do better when it comes to the efficiency of what I'm doing. Atlas is better than 50%, but it's still not the best. So now we can see maybe why Skyreach was my favorite dungeon. Maybe it's because it was the one I timed the best. But honestly, I find the atmosphere in the boss pretty interesting, and I was happy to do this Warlord of Draenor dungeon. Seed of the Triumvirate, that was not my favorite, but it is pretty good as well. So the one I had the most trouble was Windrunner Spire and the Academy. Academy was really, I don't know, I was curious in that dungeon, to be very honest. I only timed 3 runs out of 8. That being said, 8 runs is not that much. I really felt that the Magister Terrace I didn't have the chance to do much more because I only did 5 runs. This is a regret because I think that dungeon was pretty interesting and I really felt like I didn't saw it too much. So in season 3, I will definitely vote for that one to come back because I want to see more of it. I died 21 with my deadliest dungeon, which is the Seed of Triumvirate. Oh yeah, look at that. I know. I had some painful run in that one. That being said, Windrunner must be close again. So here are my friends that I've been playing the most. So Amila is Nabil, Buffy is actually Wing Zero, and because we played a lot with this monk as well, and sometimes with this rogue, he probably should have more run than that. Trashimara, of course, that's my partner in crime. And then we have Naomi twice. And Naomi twice, it's 36 runs, so she's the winner. She's the winner, the friend I've been playing the most. Next season I would like to play with more friends. I've been playing most of the time with the same people this time. That being said, I must confess that I feel very safe when I play with Marap, so it's always a pleasure to play with him as a tank. I am not nervous to try hierarchy when I play with him. Look at that! Most played with was Beastmaster Hunter. Oh, weird. Which raid took you the longest to clear? Definitely Martian Quenlanas, thanks to Lura. That being said, Lura Eric was probably my favorite boss, maybe ever. I think it was very interesting.
And we have another memory game. We have a T, an X, a triangle, a circle, and a diamond. T, X, triangle, circle, diamond. T, X, T first, T first. It's me. I'm stupid. Sorry, I didn't notice. Jesus Christ. I'm not used to have it as a tank. Glaives in between. And spread out. I was like, why T is not moving? Because it's me!
Quite interesting. Most time spent was on Lura, obviously, with 8 hours spent on trying to do that boss. The least end boss time was on Herrick Rotmeyer, which I did with Team Nebula the first time, I think, it's an interesting boss. I like it. And the messiest skill was Mythic Voracious. Yeah, I remember that one. I really enjoyed the red this season. I also like the fact that we had 4 different red. I think that was very refreshing. My favorite boss across all those bosses were definitely Lura. I really enjoyed Vilgor and Ezorak actually. And then Rotmeyer and Chimerius were also very fun. Yeah, I'm not that fond of gearing up, so I think this graph showed that clearly. So what kind of player I am? Dun, dun, dun. Mythic raiding specialist. Well, I think that's a little bit of an overstatement, but definitely I have been a raider. We can really see here through that graph that my playtime has not been spent equally at all, and that I've been playing with the same people. I've been playing on the same spec, and I've mostly been doing raiding. So what are my plans for season 2? Well, I want to do more raiding and more Mythic Plus and become better at playing on my shaman. Rap and I will continue in season 2 to lead the team Nebula, which is the beginner raider team with a very nice and safe atmosphere. So if you are a new player, a returning player, an anxious player, a clumsy player, or someone that wants to raid only once a week in a calm and gentle atmosphere, Team Nebula will be for you on the European server. Of course, if you are in America, I cannot help you. Do not hesitate to check us out and to apply to our team. I will be very, very happy to welcome you here. Those red are not streamed, so you cannot see them. We want to preserve the privacy of our player and ensure that they feel really, really safe. So basically, Nebula is a safe space for players that do not want to be stressed out. And I know there's many players that do not dare to do group content in World of Warcraft because they are anxious. So if it's your case, Please check us out at starship.com and apply to Nebula. You will have all information in the box below. I'm also part of another team, which is Team Kronos. This season it will be led by Teldrassil, Steve, and Oli from Starship. I will be streaming that every Monday and Wednesday, and actually a lot of friends are in that team. You will see some familiar name. So if you want to see my progression in Team Kronos, we will be doing heroic and ahead of the curve probably pretty fast, and then double into mythic but without pressure. So it's going to be quite interesting. That being said, everything will depend of my commitment to my other project that I will be explaining at the end of the video.
Do not go back to sleep.
Astrologically wise, the month of July had been absolutely packed with a lot of very important transit, including one massive transit that was probably one of the rarest things we could have seen from our living, or maybe even beyond that. It is of course the Barbo basket, which I have been talking about in length, because this is something that signifies a massive change in humankind consciousness, with a positive aspect between the three slowest moving planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, that were all in aspect to each other, and then doing a last aspect with Jupiter that enhanced everything. And this aspect has been actually activated by the full moon in Aquarius, which was very, very significant, with the sun in Leo conjunct with Jupiter and the moon in Aquarius conjunct Pluto. So something very significant for the transformation of humankind consciousness. Pluto in Aquarius is the shadow work of humankind. It's digging into the subconscious, the collective subconscious, and bringing back all of the dark aspects. Misogyny, sexism, racism, homophobia, social inequalities, anything you can think of. And that's why it's super visible at the moment, because we're digging in the shit of the collective, and we are unearthing and showing it, and that's what we're doing. So the full moon is supporting the Aquarius Plutonic side of the people purging themselves and breaking free from the societal rule, making an opposition with what is ruling and leading and governing. So do not shy away from that shadow work of diving into your own depth, facing what makes you eccentric or out of touch of the crowd. See where your real value is about, related to that. You might have to face the uncomfort of feeling worthless, of maybe comparing yourself with others, but just face that with trust and faith, which is also what Jupiter represents, because it will allow you to really find out who you are and how you can serve the world and humankind at your best. Because what makes you unique is what you need to use to serve the world.
Barbeau, years before, decades before, predicted the fall of the Berlin Wall at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, like the one we had in February. Saturn, wall, Neptune dissolves. That happened within like a few days of the actual disappearance of the Berlin Wall. Barbeau also, based upon the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of January 2020, predicted a world pandemic. Barbeau refers to these four planets, the Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, all in mutual sextiles and trines and opposition. He referred to that as Barbeau's bowl and or Barbeau's basket. And he said that this was potentially the most positive thing that he has seen in the 21st century. What will happen? I don't know. Let's talk about it when we get together and say, it's August. What the hell just happened?
This is a seminal moment. So in astrology, it's not because something is very important in the sky that it means that on the day something massive is going to happen. That being said, it happens sometimes. I think I have done some nice presentation of astrology during this month. At last, I put a lot of heart and care into that, and I'm really trying to transfer to you some information that are simple enough for those of you that are not initiated to astrology to understand easily, but also that are exciting and important, where you can really be aware of some movement and something happening within yourself in your own life or observing in the world. And we are at the edge of very important historical event. We will probably have more oversight about it in the future, but this month of July was really important. What has been planted, we'll see fructifications, who knows when, next year, in 10 years, in 100 years, but we will see the impact it has. If you're interested into my astrology stream, it's every Friday at 6 p.m. Central Europe time. I'm starting always with a presentation that I've prepared in advance, where I'm teaching you something about what's going on in the sky at that moment, hoping that it's interesting to you. Like, for example, when it's the new season for a new sign, I'm presenting that sign. But when we do have important transit, I'm also sharing them with information about the planet at play and the signs. I'm also preparing a fun event for the Saturday 29th of August. It's going to be an astrology marathon where I will be offering free 10-minute reading to anyone that want to take part of it. So it will be entirely free, and this will be used as a form of exercise or training for myself to see if I can do reading in 10 minutes and what you can get out of that. So it's going to be pretty exciting, something really different, and I hope to see you there. This is pretty important because I have taken the decision that I will pursue astrological studies. I have been taking some courses with Rick Levine, which is an astrologer that I really like. I have taken a course of foundation, which are the basic, and then about midpoint, which is a very particular technique. But I also took a leap of faith and inscribed myself to an actual school, the Mercury Internet School of Psychological Astrology. So this is a specific branch of astrology that focuses on the psychological aspect. As you might be aware of, it's Carl Jung that revitalized astrology back in the start of the 20th century and brought back the interest to astrology with deep psychology. He was actually studying astrology himself and using astrology during his therapy with his clients. So this is absolutely converging two important aspects of my interest and life into one, and I'm very excited to take those studies. I do not know enough of Carl Jung, but he's constantly referred in astrology. The work of one of the pillars of psychology is using astrology. And the person that told me to study astrology is my psychotherapist. So I'm kind of confident that it does work well with at last deep psychology with Carl Jung works. Astrology aside, the vibe of the month of July was definitively very, very special. It was a blend of emotion, of contemplation. There was a little bit of vulnerability, of a lot of feelings. At last, that's how I felt it. Granted, it was Cancer season. But there was something a little bit magical about that month as well. I've spent a lot of time outside. This is the beauty of living in the countryside. Unfortunately, it's come to an end soon, but able to be out when I want and walk among the field, seeing the beautiful blue sky around me or the night sky with actually the planet visible in the sky. This is the first time I'm paying attention to that, and I can see, oh, this is Venus and here is Jupiter, and maybe we see Mercury right there. That was so beautiful. I spent a lot of time with my brother as well, which is in a kind of similar situation to me, with a lot of change in his life. Therefore, we spent time walking around in the forest and the field at night, improvised little meeting between him and I, and we could discuss all our hearts long, which was really nice. I even had a midnight bath in a river, which is not something I would have imagined in my area in Belgium, to be able to just take a swim into a river. That was so cool. I really enjoyed those kind of things. I've been participating to 2 different Natagora events. So Natagora is an organization in Belgium that take care of maintaining and restoring natural reserve, among other things, and it requires volunteers. So I'm volunteering in different projects. One of them is in the area of Dinan, and I've been sharing that in the last episode for the May-June recap. But I've also been to a different project that was closer home. I've also taken part into a cacao ceremony, once again with my brother. So a cacao ceremony is something coming from South America, a kind of ritual where you do some offering. This one has been organized around the new moon, and everyone is drinking a kind of mixture made from cacao. That being said, it doesn't taste like hot cocoa at all. It's being prepared as more of a medicine, so it includes a lot of spice, and it's not as tasty as hot cocoa, but you really feel the power of cacao, and what was quite extraordinary. It is said that cacao beverage like this are opening the heart. In my case, it felt more like a rush of joy. It was really lovely. There was a little altar with water bowl and candles and different offering, because the new moon was in Cancer, so it was fitting to use water, and it was also very dry and maybe dangerous to lit up fires at that time. The planet has been burning too much lately, so we need to pay attention to that. And it has been an absolutely lovely moment with great people. Everyone were playing music or singing song. It was really lovely. I also spent quite some time with my children and with my grandson. I had 3 days taking care of him, so that was really a beautiful month of July. I must confess, it has been a very beautiful month of July. And I realized with all of this, if life has been more like that earlier on, I may not have been so much absorbed by the internet. I think that my escapism in video games and into the digital world in general was also due to unsatisfaction with society and my place in it. I was struggling, I'm still struggling to find my place in the real world, and it was easier to take my place in the virtual world. There I could mix up with people from all places in the world and build communities, and it felt like I had more of an impact, and that was mastering the things a little bit better. So I think that's greatly a part of it, but it's nice at this point in my life to get back to the real world and rediscover everything I've kind of missed out or brushed over. And right now things are beautiful. And maybe it's simply because, I don't know, the time is right. I'm doing better. I had very somber years and now the light is coming back. Or maybe it's not related to that at all. Maybe it's my 4 years of therapy that are starting to take root or something. Maybe it's other things, who knows? Maybe it's the magical moment. Maybe it's this period of awakening for all of us that's blossoming and that I feel energetically within me. Who knows? I wish I would have talked about that subject long. You see, like my therapist is so interesting. Like it's very annoying that when I'm going in therapy, it's only me that speak and he speak very less. I would love to go in therapy and hear him talking all along, and I just ask him question and I hear and I hear him talking. But I guess that's not really therapy, is it? All right, now let's speak about the future and the plans I am putting in place and in motion right now. I will certainly be sharing more details on Discord in a more private manner, and here on public I'm going to be a little bit more reserved, I guess. But me and my daughter have been talking about a project we want to put in place. And we had this discussion the day before the full moon. You know, that full moon with the barbell basket I've been telling about in the astrology section. So I think it's quite significant. And we had the project to live together for a while now. We have been discussing about that since 2019. So we had this dream of creating a family community in a farm ideally, in the countryside ideally, etc. So that's not what we're doing right now. But what we want to do is to team up together, offer each other support so we both can study. So for my daughter, it's important that I'm taking care of her son, my grandson, while she's at school, so she can start again study in art to become an art teacher. And I will be studying the evening with my astrology lesson in school and reading books. So this is something that we can combine if we're combining our effort. That being said, when it comes to administration and when it comes to resource, this is more complex, and so we do not know how we're going to proceed exactly. This will have an impact upon my content creation in a way or another, and it might even be that I have to close business when it comes to monetization on Twitch and YouTube. This is a possibility, not a certainty. But in the case that happen, I want to warn you enough in advance, so if you have recurring subscription, especially tier 2, tier 3 and multi-month subscription on Twitch, please do stop those. Very important. I'm really asking that for yourself. And then, because I do not know what the future will be made of, I have set up a Throne account with 2 book lists. There's one book list called priority books that will serve me for the first trimester in my study at MISPA. And the second list is books that will be useful for my studies, but in general, they are not urgent. So this is a way for those of you that want to support me to do it in a very useful manner, because in that way I directly receive the book. There is no money lost in taxes, fee, conversion, Twitch cut, etc, etc. It goes straight directly to my mailbox. I've never done Throne before, so I do not know how it works exactly, and it might be a disaster, who knows, but I think it's a good idea, and it might be a great way for you to support me, and you know directly what it's served for. There is different price of book. There is also books that are crowdfunded when they are above €20. And of course, I want to underline once again that no support is expected at all. Your friendship, your presence, the fact that you are hanging out with me is, the reason why I'm doing all of that. So don't feel pressure to support me. But if you do, then maybe favorize Throne rather than other means. Thank you so very much. And voila, that's it for this little July recap. I hope it was interesting to you. Thank you very much for following this channel and this video. Do not hesitate to give a like, to comment something below. It's always nice. I love to react with you, especially if you're someone that cannot join Twitch, so I can have a discussion with you via YouTube at last. Do not hesitate to join Discord. That's where we have our intimacy and our daily exchange. You can also find me on Blue Sky. It's the only social media I'm using because fuck Meta and fuck X and their owners. There we go. All right. See you soon, guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved one. Bye.